Hello students, now welcome to the new module of our chapter called Magnetism. Now students, in the previous modules we have learned what are ferromagnetic materials and their properties, and we have also learned domain theory and the behavior of ferromagnetic sample in external magnetic field. Now students, in this particular module again we'll be learning a concept which is related to ferromagnetism and domain theory. Yes students, we'll be starting with the concept of Curie temperature. Right? So let us start with the concept. Now students, in the previous modules we have learned that the magnetization of a ferromagnetic sample simply depends upon the temperature. Right? So let's say if I take a ferromagnetic sample and if I start heating this particular sample. Now what will happen? The temperature of this particular sample increases, and as a result of this the magnetization of a ferromagnetic sample decreases. Or I can say when ferromagnetic material is heated, its magnetization decreases with temperature. Now students, at a particular temperature, this particular domain structure or this particular domain wall gets vanished, right? And this particular domain structure gets collapsed. Or I can say at a particular temperature, this particular domain structure gets completely vanished. So this particular temperature at which the domain structure is collapsed and this particular sample of a ferromagnetic material loses its magnetism is called as Curie temperature. Right students? And this is nothing but the definition of Curie temperature. So what is the definition? The temperature at which domain structure is destroyed and the ferromagnetic substance loses its magnetism is called as Curie temperature. Right? Now let us move further. Now let us see what happens actually when it is heated. Now when this particular sample of a ferromagnetic material is heated, the thermal vibrations of all the atoms in this particular sample increases, right? And as a result of this, the exchange coupling or interatomic coupling becomes weak. Or I can say, with the increase in temperature, the thermal vibrations of the atoms on the given ferromagnetic substance are increased, right? And as a result of this, interatomic coupling becomes weak. Now students, at a particular temperature, these thermal vibrations are increased to such an extent that the interatomic coupling or exchange coupling breaks. As a result of this, this domain structure gets collapsed. Or I can say, at higher temperature, the exchange coupling between the atoms or between the atomic magnets in each domain breaks completely and all the atoms get randomly oriented. Now see the picture carefully. The domain structure vanishes and all the atomic magnets are randomly oriented, and thus I can say domain structure is destroyed. Right? Now this particular stuff happens at a temperature called Curie temperature. Now see this particular sample, right? It resembles to a paramagnetic sample, right? Or it resembles to a paramagnetic material, right? Thus I can say above Curie temperature, ferromagnetic material gets converted into paramagnetic sample, right? Or it gets converted into paramagnetic substance. Now even if I cool this particular sample, it will not regain its domain structure back, right? Or I can say it will remain as paramagnetic, right? So thus we have learned that whenever a ferromagnetic material is heated above Curie temperature, it will lose its domain structure, and after losing its domain structure, it will get converted to paramagnetic substance. Right? Now let us see the various examples of ferromagnetic material and the Curie temperatures for the same. On the left we'll have material, and on the right hand side we'll have temperature, that is Curie temperature in Kelvin. Right? Now first example is cobalt, right? And the Curie temperature is 1394 Kelvin. Right? Next example is iron, and the Curie temperature is 1043 Kelvin. Next is nickel, and the Curie temperature is 631 Kelvin. And last is Fe2O3 or ferric oxide, and the Curie temperature is 893 Kelvin. Now from this particular table you can infer that Curie temperature is different for different materials. So students, in this particular module we have learned a very important concept called as Curie temperature. Right? That's it for this particular module. I'll see you in the next module. Till then, keep learning. Thank you.